Hey guys, it's Mike. Unexpected video today, but I figured it might be worth you all seeing. As you all know, one of the things I carry around with me on my business trips is my 12.9-inch iPad Pro. It's got the cellular in it. It's got 128 gigabytes of memory. I've got the Apple keyboard, which folds out like thus. It's a great travel companion. There's not much I can't do with it. And I generally love the thing. I got it when it first came out, and it's been probably the best iPad I've ever owned. Now, my daughter went today to get her Apple Watch fixed, and I guess she's had I'll call it a vintage iPad mini. When I say that, I mean it's the original. So it was running slow. She went there, and I guess Apple gave her $100 to buy it back. So she decided to use that, and she came home with her own rose gold iPad Pro. So I'm going to go ahead and open that for you. In addition, she got, and by the way, this is the 10-inch version, or 9.7-inch version. And as you can see, it's quite a bit smaller than my almost 13-inch version. And she also bought the smart keyboard to go with it. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for you. Just one note about this smart keyboard. It functions very, very well. It's got a nice feel to the click. What it is missing is backlighting. Now, I had originally purchased the Logitech keyboard case that goes with it, which is a bit heavier. It makes the iPad feel more like a laptop. But at the time I had purchased it, there was a software bug where it was dropping like every third key you type, which made it like impossible to use. And they had said that they were going to replace it or update the software so that it would fix it. But within the 2-week return window I had, I just decided to not chance it. I returned it. From what I understand, the Logitech keyboard is repaired now. I liked it because it was backlit, although this Apple keyboard is much lighter. But what it doesn't do is offer any protection for the back of the case. So I typically have a slip, like a sleeve I put it in. But it just attaches magnetically, reattaches magnetically. In theory, there it goes. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and unbox my daughter's iPad now. So, handy knife, and let's go ahead and slice open this cellophane. Properly disposing of cellophane, and let's go ahead and open this box up here. So a typical Apple presentation, first thing you see is the product itself right in the box. So it's got a little handy thing here to lift it out. So I lift that out. I'm going to put that aside for now. That is wrapped. Okay. Underneath that you have your power brick and your books. And what one did she get? Okay, this is just the Wi-Fi model, but she's got more memory than me. This is the 256 gigabyte model. And then you got your lightning cable. And that's really all that's in the box. The rest is just plastic filler space here to prop up the iPad so it fits in the box properly. So then I'm going to go ahead and just unwrap this off here. And it keeps it all shiny and new. I'm going to try not to put fingerprints all over my daughter's iPad. She's outside the door waiting for it now. So that's the front of it. In the back, I don't see myself ever carrying a rose gold iPad, but I got to say it's fairly attractive to look at. The camera on this 9.7-inch is actually a better camera than what's on my 12.7-inch iPad, which, if that's important to you, that's something to consider when you choose which one you're going to buy. I don't take a lot of photos with the iPad. Mostly just if I'm in a meeting, I'll take a picture of a whiteboard, and this is perfectly adequate for that. The front camera, however, I use quite a bit, and that's for FaceTime and things of that nature. Let me just take off my keyboard cover on my iPad. And just to put it in perspective, if you remember a couple years ago, the 9.7-inch iPad was the largest iPad you could get. Okay, Mike here again. One thing you want to do before you make a YouTube video is check the battery in your camera. It died, so I put the new battery in. Here we are back. Anyway, when I go to post, I'll figure out where it cut off. But I was basically just showing, this is a 9.7-inch iPad. This used to be the biggest iPad you could get. Then they came out with a 12.7-inch or whatever it is, almost 13-inch iPad Pro. That's insane, the size difference. That said, this one's got more memory than this one. And this one's got a better camera than this one. So sometimes it pays to wait. But this will be perfect. My daughter's going to use it for school. So there's your rose gold iPad. And I'm going to go ahead and pop open the iPad Pro Smart Keyboard. And I'll tell you why it's a smart keyboard. And it's got to do with its versatility in how you use it. So, more cellophane coming off. And taking it out of the box. And basically, similar presentation. You see a product right away. Apple's good at putting these little tabs in to be able to help you remove it from the box. So, I take it out. It's also wrapped in a cellophane-ish type container. With some documentation in a little box here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And it's very similar to the larger, you get more wax paper in here, very similar to its larger counterpart on the bigger variety there. So let me see how this is for typing. Yeah, it's a little more cramped than the full-size one, as you might expect when you're losing that much size. Let me see if I can compare here. Sorry, my desk is a mess today, going a little crazy with work. And I didn't expect to be making a video today. So, if it makes it any easier, there's the two varieties of the iPad Pro keyboards. So you can see this is legitimately a full-size keyboard. It's a little shrunk down. But it's perfectly fine for the smaller version of the iPad, which is over here somewhere. So the difference between the normal iPad and the iPad Pro is you've got this connector here, this smart connector. And essentially it's got, if you look on the actual keyboard itself, there's a corresponding three dimples. And I've got everything getting stuck to everything here. Okay, so I connect the keyboard there, and you can see it's magnetic. It's fairly strong. I wouldn't jiggle it, but it holds up. So in its folded up form, it protects the screen when you're traveling. Also, like the bigger version, there's no protection for the back, so it's not going to stop drops. I highly recommend getting a sleeve or something to store this in. My daughter, I'm sure, will like seeing the rose gold back. But now if I open this up, the reason it's called a smart keyboard is you can operate this thing in two different configurations. In its normal configuration, it looks like this, if you can see it. And it's basically like a mini laptop, except you still got the touch screen, you got your keyboard, and if you have an Apple Pencil, you can write on it. And these things are great, by the way. I didn't have one for the first few months I had my iPad Pro. I didn't think I would use it. I take so many handwritten notes with this thing, and they charge in like no time. You just pop the end off, and there's a little lightning connector there, and it just, one of Apple's worst design decisions. You just basically plug it into the side of the iPad, and it looks redonkulous, but it gets the job done. Anyway, now the other way you can configure this keyboard is you unfold it, and see if I can do this on camera. It sort of makes like a tent in the back. There we go. So when you put it like this, you can lean it and watch movies, and it just basically props it up. So it becomes sort of a stand, right? Now the reason it's called a smart keyboard, besides the fact that it uses the smart connector, is when it's in this configuration, even though the keyboard's still connected, you can push these buttons all day long, and it's not going to do anything on the screen. So the iPad is actually aware of the configuration of the keyboard and the position it's in. So anyway, just a quick unboxing of the 9.7-inch rose gold iPad and smart keyboard. More coming soon. This is Mike. Take care.